I am burning some brush this morning. My dad had come and helped me about a year ago work on this fence line over here. It's really grown up, and there's like 3 fences put in there, some of which are really not working. Like there was one that was just like some barbed wire here and there, and the posts were all rotten and falling down. So we had put them in a pile, and I think I've worked on this pile maybe one other time. I'll burn it for a little bit, like not let it get too big, and then put it out for a while, but I'm working on burning some brush today. I've got my water, I've got my shovel. I am always very cautious when it comes to fire. I usually try to time it with when we're gonna get a really good rainstorm, just to be super safe, because I don't wanna be the one to set the forest on fire. So I always am very careful with having to burn stuff. I've got to get in here and mow because this grass in here has gotten real tall, and like those little trees back there, they came up I think a year or 2 ago, and I didn't get them mowed down, and now they're big. So if I don't keep this maintained, it gets out of control pretty fast. But it's also one of those things that is harder for me to control because I have a rooster in here and I don't want to get impaled on his spurs. So I try to time it, and that's hard too. So trying to time it when I can get in here when the kids are asleep, and then the grass is wet. So it's one of those things that it needs to get done. Just timing is one of those difficult parts of it. It's cold this morning, keeps my breath. And by cold, I mean it was like 50 when I got up this morning, so not actually cold. We get those smilex vines real bad all through the edge of the property too. Sometimes in the middle of the property, but I can keep those mowed down pretty well. But the smilex vines are those ones that are like really, really thick, like that big, and they have the great big thorns on them, and they grow straight up and into the trees, and their vines will be all the way up into the top of the trees. I was just noticing we've got some honeysuckle on the fence too, which I'm really excited about. I was actually thinking about putting some honeysuckle along the fence line. This is completely off topic, but my brain is a wild place. But do you guys ever have where you're trying to do a project and you have to go back to the hardware store like 5 times? So the pump we just have like this little pool that I bought from Walmart. It's not very expensive, and the pump only lasted 1 year on it. So I was trying to get a replacement pump, but that specific pump cost the same amount as it cost for the whole entire pool kit thing. So I ended up buying a sand pump from Lowe's, because eventually I'd like to have like a nice pool someday. My son loves to swim. I'd love to have a nice pool someday. So by the time I buy all this equipment, I'll have everything I need except for like the frame and the liner for a new pool. But I went to the store. They didn't have it in stock. I really wanted to see it in person and be able to like physically see what I'm looking at. And I don't like to buy things online. I prefer to go someplace, have it in my hand, and see it and feel it and know what I'm getting. So I had to order it online. But it did the order into like 3 separate orders, and I accidentally sent it to the wrong store, so I had to drive 45 minutes to the store to go pick it up, because like our packages here are very spotty, and I'm not risking sending something that expensive to my house that might get lost. And I got it home, I was working on setting it up, and the diagram was not very helpful. Thank goodness for YouTube, because I wasn't able to find like that specific pump on YouTube, but I was able to see ones that were similar enough that I could figure out what I was supposed to do. But my goodness. And then it doesn't have all the pieces, so I had to put in another order. But my pool is full of tadpoles right now. See all these tadpoles in here? There are so many all over. And I actually really like hearing them at night. It doesn't bother me. There's a bunch. So I don't know what to do with them when I think the rest of the pieces for the pool pump are supposed to come tomorrow. I don't know what to do with all these guys. because I haven't had a working pump and I don't want them to all croak when I put the new pump on and they get filtered. So I don't know what to do with them. There's a lot, like a lot. So all of these jungly looking viney things is where my dad and I last year cut the Smilix off. We cut it, but it goes way up in the trees and sometimes you gotta pull it down. And then you can see, this is it growing back here. This is Smilix. You can see those great big thorns on there. It's really hard to get rid of. And it gets like really thick like this, where you can't just come in with a weed whacker and take it down. It can get pretty tangly and difficult to deal with. But it has like these tendrils like this, where it'll just wrap and grow up the trees and kind of take them over. There is so much plantain growing in here. I wonder if I should grab some of it and dry it for salves before I mow all this down. I really want to get like broadleaf plantain. So this is, what do they call it? It's plantain, but it's like a very thin, long leaf. But there's plantain that's like the big, broad leaves. But they work just the same. They're fine either way. We got home like right around sunset last night when it was just starting to get dark and the kids wanted to stay outside and play. So I started getting some of these elderberries pulled out because I don't want this spreading. I have plenty of elderberries in here. I don't want it taking over this entire garden bed. And I just ripped them up. I didn't pot them up. A lot of times I'll pot them up and sell them or give them away. But I have quite a few in pots. And so I didn't pot these up because it's always going to make more. I can always pot up more. So that's one project I'm working on, trying to get all of this garden bed cleaned up. And I need to get some fresh mulch put down on it, but we haven't gotten a mulch delivery for like a year and a half or 2 years at this point. So the mulch that I have left is very broken down. It's more like compost than it is like mulch. It's not going to like suppress the weeds. It's going to encourage them to grow on top. I started working on cleaning up this fence line down there. I need to get all this fence line cleaned up, and I'm moving the border from that garden over there and putting it around these trees. And then I want to get these trees mulched so then I can try to keep a control on the weeds growing up in there. This video has turned from I'm bored standing here watching the fire out here to look at all the projects that I have started and not finished. I've still got a lot of stuff I've got to plant. I'm gonna try to get sweet potatoes in the ground today. I started working on sweet corn yesterday. So all my Indian corn is in and it's coming up, and sweet corn is in. So this is another spot I was working on the fence. So whatever this grass is, I don't know what kind of grass this is, but the sheep don't like it. It's huge and it's really hard for the mower to take it down. So I started just digging it up where it's along the fence line. Another project I started and haven't finished yet. I just bounce around a lot. I get bored and then I go do something else, which is great for homesteading because there's always so much stuff that needs to get done that you can very easily be productive in a lot of different areas and not be stuck on the same task for a long time. I don't know. So this garden bed, I haven't worked on it all this year really. I did do pruning like in January or so, but I haven't worked on it. It's got all these wild blackberries growing up in here, which I don't want in here. And I don't know what, I think this is beautyberry maybe. Whatever this is, I don't want it in here. It sends out like it's very easy to pull up because it just breaks off. Well, of course now it's not gonna be. It just kind of like breaks off, but then there's like a whole bunch more root in there. And it just like keeps multiplying. So I did come through here, I think it was 2 years ago, and dug all of the blackberries up and everything up, cardboarded it really good, mulched it really good, and it wasn't really bad last year at all. There was like a couple maybe coming up last year that I didn't pull out, and I've got down there. There's a couple sunflowers coming up down there. So I must have dropped some seeds last year or something. Or like sometimes if I have like a head of sunflowers I'm drying, it gets blown off the porch. Or so we've got some sunflowers coming up over there. We'll see what kind they are. And then of course I've got the greenhouse garden that I'm still working on. This hosta's in the middle of that iris, so I think I'm gonna dig that back up and separate it. And I am, what is that? Is this Ellie's poppies? Oh man, look at that. I was worried they all got destroyed with all that rain we got. I think her poppies are, that's awesome. She'll be excited to see that. Very cool. Peony is starting to bud a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I love peonies. They're one of my favorite things. So what I'm doing is moving all of the flowers out of this bed. So this bed was an existent bed when I moved in. There was like a small little tree in here that was not living anymore. And I can't remember which year it was. My family came for my birthday and brought flowers and we did this whole thing. And then it's just been a nightmare with the Bermuda grass, because we'll work on it really hard, get it looking really good, and within a month it's absolutely covered in Bermuda grass again. So I decided just to take it apart. These are Egyptian walking onions in here. They can get moved, no problem. We had a whole lot of flowers in here, and I think honestly the Bermuda grass has kind of strangled it because it just completely takes over. So I am probably going to leave the rose bushes in here, and then I'll just mow around the rose bushes. But then that way it'll be a lot easier too when I'm moving my ram around the yard, not having to worry about making his fence go around this garden. The pole that's in here needs to come out too, but it's probably concreted in, so that will probably take some more work. And all of the edging down here, all that edging needs to come out and get moved. So still working on that too. And then my last garden project, well, maybe not my last, but the other big one I'm working on is clearing out this garden bed. It's another one where it was existent when I bought the house, and the Bermuda is just really bad. I've done it I don't know how many times, and Bermuda just keeps taking back. So what I am doing right now is digging down deep and trying to dig all of this out, and then put the bins of dirt, like there's spots along the fence and over there where there's big gaps and holes underneath, so trying to fill that in and get this all out and try to get this Bermuda grass under control, because our blueberries are in here and they're looking pretty good, and I want them to do well, as long as the chickens don't eat them. Oh, look at these. I saved these. I wanted them. I gave one to Ellie on Sunday, but I really wanted some strawberries for myself. Maybe that's selfish, I don't know. That one I'm gonna turn over and let it, but the chickens haven't gotten these ones. So I'm trying to get all the strawberries moved out of that back garden, put them up here too, because they are eating all my strawberries back there. Look at that goodness. All right. I think I didn't get all the dirt off of that one. These are so much better than the ones from the store. My toddler loves fruit. And so I'll let her pick out like one treat every time I go to the grocery store. And all winter she'll pick out like strawberries and blueberries. They're just not great. They're tart. Sun ripened, homegrown strawberries. Taste so different. They're so sweet. It's so good. We're fortunate enough to have 2 farms. One that way is 10 minutes, one the other way 5 minutes away, that has strawberries. Maybe next year, if I can keep my strawberries away from the chickens, I'll have enough to be able to like make jams and pies and all that stuff. I can't get over how good this is. It's so good. Just realized there's one more project I forgot about that I'm in the process of trying to finish. So believe it or not, I had mowed this all the way down. It is, I know it doesn't look like it now, but I had all of this mowed down, like really low to the ground, and I had started working on mulching my blackberry plant. Pick you up?
Yeah, pick me
Here,
up.
can you show me? Stand right here next to the grass. I want to see how tall this grass is. Stand right here. You ready?
Yeah.
That grass is taller than you. That's how much rain we've gotten over the last week.
Look.
That is a tall grass. Ugh. So I had started planting, or not planting, I had started mulching that. That's where I put the raspberries that my mom got me in.
Hi.
I cannot believe the grass has grown that much. It's so wild. So yeah, I think that's my last current in progress project that I'm working on. There might be more, and that's just garden projects. That's not even like fixing stuff on the house projects or other indoor projects that I'm trying to work on. I don't know. I get started on so many things and I'm really bad about completing them, but I don't know. So I don't know. I started this video because I was bored, and I ended up showing you all of my unfinished projects that I'm working on, and maybe that'll help encourage me. Sometimes, honestly, making a YouTube video helps me keep on track.
Keep going.
I'm going. It helps me keep on track for getting something done, because I'm like, I have to finish this project so I can finish the video, and that's been pretty helpful for me. So I don't know, maybe I'll try to squeeze a little bit in. I'm tired. I'm so tired. But thanks for hanging out and brainstorming on my projects with me. And I'm gonna see if I can get some stuff done before the sun goes down. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Quick before I go, I want to show you something really quick. My kids with my mom's, my mom set it up, and my kids painted me some turtle stones for Mother's Day. I had told my mom that I was wanting to get some colorful turtle statues for the garden, and my mom found these and helped the kids paint them. Aren't they just darling? I'm so excited about this. I think they're going to be such a cute addition to this garden. I've got to get in here and do some work, as always. There's so much work always to do, but they're super, super cute, and I'm very excited about them.